of the Muskogee Roughers, and Coach Travis Hill in his first year at the helm. Coach, first of all, would you just kind of open this with some general comments about your team as you heading into the few weeks before the season starts?
Hey, man, we're excited to be here. We're excited to kick off this little media day, too. So with that being said, we're excited. We had great attendance all summer with our Summer Pride program, and I think our young men are ready to get started, and somewhat it's going to be a great season. I think they're excited and ready to redeem themselves from a very interesting, obviously, 2021 season last year with all the endeavors and fights we had to fight through besides that we're on the football field with COVID and everything. So I think our kids are excited and are looking forward to this upcoming season.
Coach, you and I have talked several times about not only the performance on the field, but the wholeness of the athlete in the class, at home. Just the whole person. Can you kind of share with us what you've done there? I mean, obviously, there's some coaching changes you've had. You brought in some guys. A lot of those are guys that really seem to connect to kids.
Life's about relationships, and I think that's the way you get things started. And our expectations are huge in the fact of this right here. And I want to say this and make sure from a coaching standpoint, a lot of people want to perceive, well, Coach Hill, you're just a good guy. And I like to think I am, and there is a good purpose. But selfishly speaking, when I get these young men to be better in the classroom, better citizens, better at home, parents like it too, by the way, those all relate to the football field. It's decision-making processes. And so it is what we really want to, as a coaching staff, we want to pride ourselves. And we look back in the future as a coach and the young men that still call me that are good dads, okay, good husbands. And that's very important. We want to raise these kids up and use football as our tool in order to do that. And then selfishly speaking, it'll help us win a lot more football games too, Mike. So it's huge for us. And the staff I hired, they feel the same way. Those things were brought to their attention before they came in. I told them we'll all get schematically coached up here one of these days, but the first thing is to make sure we're here for the right purpose, and that's to make sure these young people making decisions and go in the right direction as far as using football as our tool.
Okay. We're going to start over here on the left with Keenan Adams. All four of you guys are seniors, and I'm going to kind of let all of you guys answer this one question. But talk about the dynamics of being a senior coming in with a first-year coach. It's not like you're going to be able to, spend several years with him. It's a new situation. Talk about that and how you feel about that, how you'd respond.
Well, I feel good about it because we had him last year, and I met him last year on the defensive side, and then I moved to offense, and he's just been good all around, so it hasn't been,
Devin, you want to go ahead and pull the microphone in as close and lean into it as you talk.
I wish I would have had him as a head coach last year because he's a good coach. But, it's been good.
Yeah. Okay. Blade?
It's been pretty easy. He made it easy on us. We had him last year on the defensive side, so we kind of knew him real well. And so we've had chemistry with him, and him coming in, I knew that we'd bring up our team a lot, and the guys he brought in are good coaches, and everything has just been working well. We just had to learn quick and get everything ready for the season.
Isaiah.
I say it's been pretty good because thinking back of just like the, I can't think of how to say it. Just even making us wear the same clothes is kind of like a even as a team bonding thing. So I understood that even doing the small things and details with him, that's like a big thing. So I knew he was a good coach. And even when he was coaching us, it wasn't our head coach. So I knew it was pretty good.
Isaiah, we'll stay with you on this. What about the impact of having a full summer? Last year with COVID, you guys went through a lot of obstacles, including a shortened season.
Yeah.
How has that changed the dynamic and what you guys have been able to do this summer?
When we've had more time together, so we kind of know, like, at least our positions, or even with the new offense, we know our plays, we know our defensive plays, where we're supposed to be. So it's more time to mesh, I guess you could say. As last year was just kind of, hit and miss. So that's what I would say.
Okay. Blade, you want to add to that any? How has it been different for you?
It's been different because we've had time to mesh together and work as a team. Last year was cut short, so we didn't have enough time to kind of build that bond like we were supposed to have, like other football teams any other year. So I mean, working this year together has really helped, and we, like the small stuff, like he said. Everything's just working out in our favor, and I think we're gonna, do great things since we've had all this time together.
Okay, Devin, your turn. You want to add to that?
It's been pretty similar for me on the defensive side of the ball, but I feel like we'll be better off this year defensively because we played last year together, and this summer we've been doing good work together. So I feel like we'll be good this year on defense.
Okay, Keenan, your turn on that same question.
What was the question again? It was kind of
what
long.
is COVID? Not having to deal with so many of the COVID restrictions. This year during the off season, having a full spring, full summer. How has that improved things for you personally?
Well, I feel a lot better not having on a mask a lot, so I can breathe in practices and stuff like that.
It's kind of a fun question here. Keenan, who's your biggest cheerleader?
Like
Out there, anywhere, mom, coach, particular coach, girlfriend. Who's your favorite, biggest cheerleader?
it's my mama.
Okay. Devin, what about you?
Probably my dad.
Okay. You want to? Why your dad?
Why? Man, he just be there every game. He always got something to say after every game. It's just
Coach, I'll let you answer that. Who's your favorite?
My daughter, and she critiques. She is. You've seen the movie. I can't think of it right now. Blindside, and the coach's daughter, defense coach's daughter, is always critiquing. That's my daughter. So she's my biggest fan when it comes to that. She's the one that wants to know, and believe it or not, these guys don't know this. She knows them already. She's funny on how she goes about her business, but she's my biggest fan as far as just understanding what we're doing and asking what we're doing and always involved. So it's fun to have that.
Lane, we'll just keep it rolling here.
Definitely my dad. He's there like during the season. He's there every practice, every game. I mean, when I come home, that's the first thing he asks is football. It's not, what'd you eat, what'd you did. It's only football, and he's critiquing me, everything I do. He watches film with me, so I mean, everything we do together. He's definitely my biggest cheerleader.
This answer could really have two. This question could have two answers. So if we're talking about team wise, like who's the biggest cheerleader, I say probably KD Freeman. And personally, to me, it's probably my dad because he's a real quiet critique. So like after the game, he didn't say anything the entire game. Just looking, then he's like, "Well, you could have done this better." So it's like, okay.
Okay, Blade, I'm going to hit you with this one. What part of your lineman? What part of your diet plan that's either a no-no or a must-have for bulking or getting in shape, and it's something that may be a little bit unique. What do you do without that is maybe a little bit more difficult than other things? And then is there a secret thing that you use to help you bulk or get into shape? A particular food that helps or whatever?
I eat a lot of tuna and scrambled eggs, and a lot of breakfast items. Like I always eat a lot of breakfast. And you said what else? Like what do I do without?
Yeah.
I try to stay away from like red meats and stuff, and try to stay away from steaks and pork or anything. I try to stay towards chicken. I eat a lot of grilled chicken. Anything with a lot of protein shakes, anything that they provide for us. I'm always guzzling it down or trying to eat as much as I can.
Okay, Devin, what strengths do you have that make you a good athlete?
Well, I can. Well, I feel like I can be a good all-around athlete. I can run, jump, and I can learn new positions and all that. I feel like that's good.
Head
Okay.
coach has got to jump in on this one, okay? It's just real simple. The young man to my right that you're just talking to, Devin, he doesn't realize his talent that he does have yet, Mike.
Yeah.
And that's our job, and we want him to know that. There's 1,000 ways to pull that out of it, So, but we want to be able to do that. And I say that I'm using an opportunity to coach right now, right? Okay, so Devin is as strong as he wants to be, unbelievably quick and athletic, can run. He's the one senior out of several, like we always do every year, that if he comes through and plays up to his potential, this is a big-time football player. He's got a lot of tools, and he's even got the size, as you see. He's a pushing 6'2", and he's 210, 215 or above. Very good football player that the one thing he needs to realize is how much talent he really does have and put it to use, because he is a very talented young man.
Keenan, obviously last year was not a very fun season. I mean, not only in terms of record, but also that you didn't get a full season. What in your mind is going to make for a successful season for the Muskogee Roughers in 2021?
Winning the first game.
Winning the first game.
Yeah.
This one game at a time approach, correct?
Yes, sir.
Who emphasizes that the most here? Coach Hill?
Yes, sir.
That's right. Coach, as we close here, talk about that and your expectations going forward in your first season.
There is big expectations, and maybe there shouldn't be. And Mike, it's a tough question, and you got to make sure you don't stick your foot in your mouth, so to speak. But we're going to be honest with ourselves, and we will be. And game one is huge. It's called momentum. The earlier we find that win, the quicker it is, and the easier it is to learn how to do it again and again and again. Our goal this year is number one and foremost to be a playoff football team. We feel like that is the number one thing we got to get to. We got to get in the dance. And once we get in, we also feel like that if we can reach our full potential, something I just mentioned again about my young man next to the right here, if we can get all of our young people, which is very difficult to do, to all go the right direction at the same time, Mike, we'll break the playoffs for one. I promise that. Whether that can be done or not is up to Coach Hill and the staff, okay? But we'll make the playoffs. And then, like I said, we're a good enough, talented football team that if we do pull it all together, that we could surprise some people, if you want to call it a surprise. I don't know that we'd surprise ourselves, but we might surprise some people as far as the general public is concerned and the media is concerned. So our goal, the number one objective this year is, again, as Keenan said, win game one. Let's get started on the right foot and then find a way to be a playoff team this year and see what happens when we get into the big dance.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time today. Good luck in the 2021 season.
Hey, guys, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, man. Good stuff.